Hi, this is part 77. We will look at questions linked with AWS Lambda, which is serverless, Cognito, which is IAM solution, Athena for analyzing petabyte scale data, Route 53 load balancers, WAF, which is a security solution, and so on. If you have not yet subscribed, do so. There is a link in the description. Click and become a Cloud Kernel or Cloud Ninja member. If you have less money, go for Cloud Kernel. You will get important certification questions. See, this is a question now. See, if you were staying in a small apartment and now you have taken a bigger apartment, so what are you doing? You are going to a bigger and a better place. So similarly, AWS is a bigger and a better place. For what? For data, for applications. See, the question is now asking, if you are going to a new place, what should be the new place? Where, if you are in Bombay, should you move to Hiranandani complex? Should you move to Powai? If you are in New York, should you move to the posh complexes of New York? Where should you go? See, similarly in AWS, where should you go? So, see, simple thing, I'll tell you, always remember, whenever we are talking about the instances, we should think about what you will think about EC2. Okay, instances, first thing you should think is EC2, then you should think about Lambda or something. Okay, so this is compute. Okay, this is compute. You put your application here. It is like your applications were on servers in on premises. Now you have to still you need a server in cloud. That server would be EC2. This is virtual server. Now the thing is, it says various configuration of CPU, memory, storage, network capacity. So see, there are various instance types based on the CPU, memory, storage, networking capacity. You see here, there are different. See, if you go to an apartment, right? Buy an apartment, they say, okay, what do you need? Do you need 2 bedrooms, 3 bedroom, 5 bedroom? It depends upon what is your requirement. That is point one. Second, a very important point, how much money you have, how much loan can be sanctioned, whatever you guys decide. Okay. Similarly, here it depends upon what is your requirement, what is your pocket size. Entire life is dependent on that only. What is your requirement, what is your pocket size? And it always happens, your requirement is very high, you want to stay in a posh complex, but your pocket size does not support, so you go with a smaller instance. In AWS also it happens that way. These are the different types of instances, like Mac and M6i, and it gives you why it is used, why you should choose, and etc. What is behind it. Like example, it is powered by AWS Nitro systems. It gives you all those kind of descriptions. We will not cover this in detail, but I'm telling you, these are the configurations of your apartment complex. Consider these that way. Okay, so EC2 is our answer. Okay, now you might say, hey boss, என்ன சொல்லுங்க தலைவா, Lambda, why can't Lambda be the answer? Lambda is also compute. So Lambda is serverless. You don't get an opportunity to select CPU, memory, storage. You don't get this opportunity itself. So Lambda is meant for you run your code without thinking about what guns. No man. Without thinking about servers. Okay. In office, you can keep thinking about girls. That is something you do. Like when I used to go to office, if a beautiful girl, a well-dressed girl comes, girl, woman, anything. In India, anything will do, man. We all have big hearts. Girl, woman, whoever looks good, pretty, the guys will be like, dying to see her. In the office, I'm talking about. Okay, and it is all true in all offices. Okay, even uncles, even people of my age also, they they also try to see, take a glimpse of, oh, what is there. Okay, that is the beauty of life. But Lambda is a wrong choice here. And now Cognito, see, because Cognito is a IAM solution. You know, like you have a Gmail ID, but using that you can create a Facebook account, You can create Instagram account. That is Cognito. So this is what Cognito helps you with. Okay, you can pause this and read carefully. So Athena. Now Athena, see, one day one gentleman came and told, "Hey boss, I want to run queries. I want to run queries against lots and lots of data. Lots and lots of data. What should I do?" So we suggested, boss, use Athena and also use QuickSight along with Athena. If you just want to fire queries, use Athena. If you want to also create visualization, go for QuickSight. Athena is a queuing solution. Okay, just let me summarize now this because we spoke a lot about each option. See, Lambda is a serverless solution. The question talks about specifically instances, and it is talking about CPU, memory, storage, network capacity. So it cannot be Lambda. Cognito is a IAM solution. Athena is a queuing solution. So our answer is EC2. Okay, this is our answer. See, there are only two things that matter in life. If you see certain things with your life happening, you don't like it, you accept it and just live the way it is, or you plan to change it. Similarly, for your career, certifications, cloud, getting cloudized. That is what we say, getting cloudized. This is very important so that you take the responsibility, you take actions, and turn around your career, make a good life out of this life. Okay. See, nowadays I see a lot of people, they will talk about chat gpt a lot. So you should, if you have not started using it, well, start using it. See, in this next question, you want to set up a domain like DNS record. Why? Because for this application for failover routing policy that is based on health checks. Okay, and which resource you should use. See, what is routing policy? Routing policy, failover routing policy means if one system fails, it gets routed to another system. Okay, so that is what. So see, first thing you remember is connect. Connect is just for customer support, and so connect is a support solution. It is called cloud contact center. Suppose you want to set up your own customer call, like Airtel, for example, or Vodafone. They have their own support system. Any such company who wants to set it up using AWS Connect, they can set it up. It will be highly automated. You don't have to hire a lot of people. Okay, it will be lot more automated using chatbots and so on. Is the question talking about setting up contact centers? No, the question is not talking about. No, WAF. Okay, WAF is also wrong in this context. WAF is a security solution. It is not a routing solution. Okay, here you need a routing solution. WAF is a security solution which will help you against common exploits. So if you see, go here, no? Like SQL injections. What happens is, like Amazon.com, people try to fire a lot of SQLs. They try to inject, bypass the ports and etc. So WAF will protect you against those, or cross-site scripting as well. So basically, it will protect you against bad players. Now, as usual in every question, no, in the real exam, eliminating two answers or two options is easy. Now, there will always be confusion between one or the other. Now, some may say, "Hey, boss, load balancer is also for routing," they might say. Okay, because see what it is doing, it is distributing network traffic to improve application scalability. That means what it will do here is, you know, you have load balancer here. Here is your internet and users. It will check the health checks and it will route it. Suppose you have so many EC2 instances here. See, this guy will do a health check and see if EC2 instances are up and running, and it will route to the EC2 instance. What is failover routing? Failover routing is if this EC2 instance fails, traffic should move to the other EC2 instance automatically. That is something which load balancer will not do. I hope you got it. Boss, I'll repeat it again. Load balancer will only route the traffic to this place. If one guy fails here, it should automatically route to other guy. It will not happen. That is called failover. So what will happen is this guy fails. Then this guy, application load balancer, will say, hey, are you healthy? Then this guy says, no boss, I'm not healthy. Okay, then this guy says, okay, hey, the work you have taken, that means you have not done it, right? So then it will try to assign it to someone else. That is not called routing. This is just load balancing. Load balancing. It is balancing on the load. Load balancer is your project manager who is allocating work to 4 5 people. One guy gets sick, he takes that work and tries to distribute the work in 4 people so that the work is also done and nobody gets overloaded. So load balancer is wrong in this context. Route 53. See, the moment you see DNS in the question, in our question, you see there is a word called DNS. The moment you see this, it has to be Route 53. Close your eyes, just mark Route 53. Simple. What it will do, it will route end users to internet applications. So that way, if one instance fails, failover policy. See, what is failover routing? You route the traffic to a resource when the resource is healthy, or to a different resource when the first resource is unhealthy. Okay, this is what it does. This is called routing. And if you see the policies, no, there are something like active failover, active passive failover. I'll explain this later, but you can pause this, read it carefully. What is active passive? Pause this. Active, pause this. So this is our answer. Okay. Now the next question. See, for IAM, what are best practices? It is asking what are best practices for IAM. Apply for future. Similarly, the best practices which are applicable today in this system for AWS, it may or may not apply tomorrow or in future. Okay, not tomorrow doesn't mean tomorrow, maybe in future, sometime in future. At least 100 years from now, it will definitely not apply. Uh, Instead of cloud, something else might have come. Okay, so that might have happened. Now we have to comment on the best practices for IAM. So first one says use AWS account root user for daily. See, root user you should never use. Okay, you should never. Okay. Similarly, like it's just like what in cricket, your bowler who is your best bowler, he will open or she will be the opener first, but she will bat first. You should never do that. Okay, that is against best practice. A is just like as bad as that, because a hack happens from the root, everything gets wiped out, and you are kind of in a mess, in a royal mess, man. Now B says use access keys and secret access keys on EC2. So it says here secrets are like passwords. AWS does not reveal your password, and AWS does not allow retrieval of a secret access key after its initial creation. This applies to root secret access keys and IAM secret access keys. So that means as a security best practice, you should securely store your secret keys. If you have lost it, you can replace it. Okay. We should not use secret access keys on EC2. C says rotate credentials on regular basis. Yes, this is a best practice. This is you should always do. You know that you have keys at your home. So the locker key also, the locker also you should rotate. Rotate means you should change your lock, say every 2 years or so on. Okay, and then D says create a shared set of access keys. You should never share anything. You should not share your partner. You should not share passwords. It is just as bad as that. And then E says use multi-factor authentication. See, multi-factor authentication, no, you should always use. It is just like in your bank when you are doing a transaction, a high value transaction, it asks for additional password like OTP is sent to your mobile phones. In India, it happens. You enter your password also, and then it generates an OTP. You enter the OTP also, and in fact, for high value transactions, they also ask for the digits behind your debit card or credit card. I think debit card. They ask for those digits also. A, B, C, D, E. They will give you that combination just to make it very secure. Okay, so that is even not only multi. Yeah, that is multi-factor. Like there are 3 factors being used. At least 2 you should definitely use. So this would be the answer. These are the best practices. Now as you see, common sense, certain best practices will be applicable for a long uh, years or amount of time, because just like rotating credentials on regular basis, till the time credentials are there, it will be applicable. But some in future, if that gets replaced by something else, then probably this may not be applicable. So that's how you should, certain best practices will apply for a longer time, and certain best practices will not apply. So you should use your conscious judgment and then see. Even when the version changes, and 2 years down the line, you might see, okay, a new service got launched, previous service got decommissioned, and etc. That's why there is always a need to upgrade knowledge. So if you have not yet subscribed, you may do so. Please help us increase our subscription base, and in turn you will get alerted for new contents. And there is a link in the description. You can click and become a cloud kernel member for a very small premium, or you can go for Cloud Ninja also. It will give you access to some advanced certification content as well. Up to you. So this brings us to the end of part 77. See you in the next part.